Now you're probably asking yourself, am I going to be painted turquoise or honeydew? Well, you gotta ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do ya? Punk. Now, paintball happened to me a while ago, but I still feel the need to talk about it. Because some memories don't heal. It's not because I have PTSD, because I would have to go through something legitimate to be afflicted with that. I have not traumatic at all, a bit more than mild stress disorder. Or PNTAAABMTMSD. Because I remember things from that day that I should have forgotten a long time ago. I should have seen the signs before going in. The sign of me telling everyone that this is my first time paintballing and everyone around me saying, oh no. Who says oh no to fun? I have never watched a scene that goes from joy to fear more quickly than at paintball. Yeah, we're all having fun, yeah. No, stop, don't, put it down, stop pointing at me. No, stop. Okay, we're all having fun, yeah. There is something fundamentally wrong with the state of paintball in the 21st century. This will be my campaign slogan when I run for Prime Minister. Considering that the overall tone of this place is welcome to war for kids. With that in mind, this isn't about me. This is about saving lives while talking about me. The most common complaint about paintball, and it's pretty obvious what it is getting shot. Because it hurts. I've seen it. I've seen soldiers all playing around like it's fun and games and then whimpering and hyperventilating by the first contact of those little balls of death. And they justify the pain by saying, it shouldn't hurt, it's just a paintball. It's okay, I'm only shooting you with paint bullets. You're still shooting me! Stop it! It's okay, I'm only stabbing you with a paint knife. Just because you put paint in front of a word doesn't make it any safer. Just like putting a post-credit sequence at the end of your movie doesn't mean that anyone wants to see your sequel. The fumes from the paint alone are hazardous enough, and the place reeks of it. I love the smell of paintball in the morning. I have to chase that dragon. You have to pay for your paintballs as well, which I'm not complaining about, but they should work. The whole point of a paintball is for it to burst, which makes undeniable proof that you have been shot. Sometimes the pellets don't burst. Like the people making them want you to get even more hurt. When a pellet is fired at high speed, it gains high energy. When it hits you and doesn't explode, all that energy is transferred into you instead of just enough energy for the pellet to pop and the excess energy to disperse. That's using physics to explain the boo-boo. The pro when this happens is you get a free bullet. The con is I can't pick it up because my arm is dead. You may be saying to yourself, oh, Daniel's a wimp if he's complaining about paintball. He must have thin skin. Get over yourself, princess. Hey. You weren't there. My friend got shot in the testicles. Close range. It was his girlfriend's birthday he was at. How is he supposed to make a speech when he sounds like this? Much like BB guns or the school game of ditching rocks at your friends' faces, it's painful. And would be banned if worrisome parents learnt about it. And then the head figures of this whole scenario decide to implement rules, as if they are still in control. Once you give your underlings guns, while you have no gun, the hierarchy changes. We do not and will not listen to what you think we should do. It'd be like the bank teller telling the gunman where the best parking is for his getaway vehicle. Also, I don't know about the rest of you, but I have trust issues, especially when it comes to people pointing rifles at me. In paintball, you quickly get overwhelmed by the amount of people around you with high power weapons. You may start out on the right path, but in your mind, you know all it takes is one mischief maker to send you to the hospital. It's common sense to be preemptive, even if you're being yelled at that it's illegal. Who listens to the rules in paintball? There are no rules in war. In World War I, the dueling sides would sometimes stop to have tea breaks with each other. We are not having tea breaks. It's a new generation. We have smart cars. There was a temple arena that I fought in, and I was told that I was not allowed to climb on any of the set pieces, and I had to go back to the start when I got shot. And they told me this like it would be something that I'd agree to. I don't care what the employee said about going back to the start. I'm taking that golden monkey from the temple, and I'm going home. You may be yelling instructions through a megaphone, but I have a machine gun now. Ho ho ho. As I said, they market paintball towards children. Children already hate rules, and now you're giving them weapons. They don't need weapons. They'll go nuts with the red power of rage. I suppose that safety is not a pressing issue here. The worse condition the game is in, the more fun you have. I can tell because they always lead us into the woods where the law can't find us, and then we start shooting each other. All they gave me before I shipped out was a helmet and a camouflage jumpsuit, which did not work because I kept getting shot. And the helmets were certainly not built for paintball purposes. I bet they just found random motorcycle equipment and thought, that'd do. All the helmets were heavily worn and definitely on special at the time of purchase. These are the safety standards of paintball. I wear more protective gear when I go outside. Do I get weird looks from passers-by? I want to be as protected as the Michelin Man, just covered in durable armor with high bounceability. I'm pretty sure they also offered cups, but if they were in the same condition as the helmets, I'll take a pass. Well worn means an entirely different thing down under. Maybe there isn't protection so that you can have a memento to take home with you. You see that bruise, son? You can keep that. You can't even be proud of your injuries when you're outside of the arena. Oh, this wound? Yeah, I got it from a paint disaster. When you get a scar from something like saving a life, you feel powerful and heroic, like it's your Medal of Honor. When you get a scar from paintball, you feel like an idiot. Like, how did I let this happen? Which brings me to my own experience of being shot with a paintball. Warning, the following comedy contains content that may concern some viewers. It was at the point of the day where I'd seen the casualties of war. I'd seen people be shot with a paintball, have minor panic attacks, and never be seen again. So I was not eager to get shot. I was mainly providing cover for others. I was saying, don't worry about me. You can have the golden monkey. It's not even gold, it's made of styrofoam, you moron. I was staying in one spot, and I accidentally started a turf war with another person from the other team who had also gone through the same aversion therapy I had. Neither of us wanted to get shot, but the other guy was a risk taker. He made a run for it. We started firing rapidly, and it was confirmed that I was hit. More specifically, he hit my hand, which was the only part that wasn't covered by the protection. Thanks, paintball! And as I sat there, dealing with the shock, I looked down at my ring finger and I thought, I don't remember getting hit by a red paintball. It was then when I had my moment, like in Nightmare on Elm Street when they realized if you die in the dream, you die for real. The paintball broke apart and the casing cut open my finger, so not only was I bleeding from it, but it was covered in paint. This is going to be infected. I'm gonna have fluoride blood for a month. In the end, I just fired all my shots into the air so I could leave. Oops, I have no ammo left. I guess I have to stop playing now. Those are the rules. And I still have the scar from where he shot me. Oh, no, I don't. Paintball also doesn't offer a lot to their customers besides their battle gear. There was no food vendor, there was no readily available drinks, there was no on-call psychologist to treat us for the acts that we committed. I would pay for life-sustaining materials. There is a market for these things. Capitalize on it. I honestly think they expected us to hunt for our food in the woods. Look, guys, I found a bush full of berries. No, that's not a berry, that's just another errant paintball. I just ate paint, I don't feel well. Luckily, in my scenario, one of the mothers decided to bring the ingredients for soup and was making it while we recovered at the end of the day. It didn't help that people were still dripping paint around the soup. Turned into a lead-based pumpkin broth. What happened to bowling? That's a classic pastime for special occasions or just for mucking around. And there's food and water, and there's a claw machine that you can actually win at. Even if bowling is too dangerous for you, there's a bowling video game in the arcade corner. Bowling has everything. I got a turkey once. That's 3 strikes in a row. I'm not going to say if it was in real life bowling or playing as Homer in The Simpsons bowling. You can make up your own mind. Laser tag is another choice. It's almost identical to paintball, except accidentally shooting your instructor has less harsh penalties. But if those don't satisfy and you really need excitement, then why don't you try, I don't know, taser tag? Give all the kids taser guns and get them to shoot their friends with those little hooks and send electric currents right through them. You can tell when someone's been shot because of the stain made when they void their bowels. What makes paintball stand out from these alternatives is that paintball has unwelcome guests in fully grown humans who take the sport way too seriously. They bring their own costumes, they're allowed to use their own custom guns, but they always forget to regret their life choices. I'm not saying that if you're a professional paintballer you've taken a wrong turn at life. Only if you ruin birthdays professionally. Get your own match away from us. Stop pitting the veterans against the newcomers. We stand no chance. Happy birthday, Clark. Blam! Who else got a cake today? If you really want to go to war, Join the army. We have plenty of countries to fight. Switzerland has been neutral for years now. You can't go that long without making a decision. They're definitely up to something. Stacks on Switzerland! This is just a stray observation, but the place I went to had a graveyard arena, and that seems inconsiderate. Boy, this tombstone's making me sad. I know, I'll paint a smiley face on it to make me feel better. I'm sure the family won't mind. Look, tears of joy. I understand why people enjoy paintball, but this was my first and only time, so I'm still taken aback. They should make a do-it-yourself kit for people like me. You can shoot yourself in the comfort of your own home, then you can make a rational decision on whether you want to keep going, instead of finding yourself in the middle of nowhere without warning. What are you gonna do? You can't call for help. You got a cell range. Until that kit happens, it will remain a different hobby. As in a hobby with a difference. It's the only hobby that makes you sign a waiver. It's the only hobby that will leave the birthday kid crying for actual reasons. Other than the brat didn't get the high score. It's the only hobby where you will be as colourful as the language. If you want to try paintball, just remember the golden rule. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. At the end of the day, it's not killing anyone on a notable basis, and it has a large enough age-appropriate audience to keep it going. It has become one of the main choices of outdoor games for the world. So good on them. Joke's on the employees though. They're the ones that have to wash everything later. And they have to. Because those are the rules. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. This is a word now. This is a word now. An emoji is a word. This emoji is a word now. What are you talking about? They added an emoji to the dictionary. How do you spell that? Should I use the words that describe it, or should I use its Unicode? U+1F602. Happy birthday, everyone! Oh look, here's a picture of my cat, Muffins. He's so adorable. I put his picture in the dictionary under all the S words. Deal with it. What is the primary use of a dictionary?